Welcome to this episode of DIY3DTech.com. This episode is a little bit of a follow-up episode to one I did prior where I got a new Ryobi chop saw and I did a little bit of a Mythbusters type approach. So you see a lot of people on the internet saying, hey, I just took my chop saw and cut this maker rail and blah, blah, blah. And so I just wanted to see how it worked, because typically what I've been using out in my other shop is I've got a large metal cutting saw that I've used, but again, I don't want to have to walk all the way out there. It's a separate one-car garage about 400 or 500 feet from the house. It's wintertime here in Michigan. I wanted something simple I could keep in my shop down in the basement to where if I needed to cut some of this, I could just walk up there, chop it, and move on. Well, quite frankly, the saw did an okay job. It's a 18-volt cordless saw, and I've got the whole Ryobi system, so it just kind of made sense because I had the batteries. Saw is powerful enough to cut for casual use. I think this maker rail, not an issue. Blade sucks. Quality of the cut really is not good, but also from a safety aspect, it really wants to grab, because number one, with the battery operated saw, it's turning at a lower revolution, lower RPM, if you will, than a mains powered or 110 saw here in the United States. And so it kind of wants to grab the maker rail or the aluminum extrusion here. So what I did is I went out and I've got this new blade. This is an Evolution blade. It's a 7 1/4 blade. And this is supposed to cut everything, all the way from copper, aluminum, steel, wood, PVC, one-stop blade. Now, it has a rather unique blade structure to it. So I figured, what the heck, put it to the test, because one of the things I wanted to be able to do, and that's why I wanted to try the original blade on it, is I want to be able to cut anything with it. Just walk over there, just boom, cut it. Because again, I've got a bigger 10-inch compound miter, one of those major saws, again, out in the wood shop, in the one-car garage, way over that way. I don't want to, it's a pain in the butt to keep switching blades on it. I've got a high quality, expensive blade in there for, cutting, wood with it. I don't want to cut, all kinds of stuff with it. And that's, again, why I got this saw. It's kind of almost a throwaway type saw, just to cut things and, hey, be able to take it here, there, and everything. So I really thought this an interesting approach to be able to cut anything. So anyways, let's go give it a shot. I'm going to mount it up, and on the saw we'll do some cuts. I'll video the cuts, and then we'll meet back here at the bench and kind of talk about it. So let's head over there. Okay, welcome back after the slow-mo video. So first thing I got to do is apologize. I sat two legs of the camera tripod on the bottom of this workbench so I could get the camera closer without zooming it up, so I get a higher quality video without thinking that when I started the saw it was going to vibrate the whole bench. So my apologies there, but I think you got to see how it all worked. Now, I want to talk about the blade for a second. Now, one of the things that I also missed in this is the size of the arbor of this blade is larger than the arbor of the blade that came with it. I think for these battery-operated saws, they do have a smaller arbor. I've actually got, for my larger saw and blade collection, etc., a set of bushing adapters. So I used a bushing adapter to adapt it to this saw. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I've done that on my other saws, on my table saw, and my big chop saw. Anyways, with that being said, now one of the things, this does take a lot of force to cut, probably more force than that one, because it appears to make larger chips. Now, the nice part about it is it makes a lot less chips. You can see the chips coming off there. I mean, a lot less chips. But as you'll see in the microscope overlays that I've done of these pieces, where this one was cut with that blade, this one was cut with the new blade, you can see it's a bit of a coarser cut. It's still more than an acceptable cut. I mean, it's not that horrible this side up. so it's not horrible. But this side is a more finished cut. Because this is 24 and I think this one's 40 something. I'll put it on the overlay down below. But it's got those also teeth like a chainsaw that clear out the cut, and because the teeth are actually offset a little bit, it feels in the handle of the saw a bit like a wobble, one of those wobble dado blade cutters. So it does feel odd, but it does seem to cut very well. And again, the bigger chunks are nice because the cleanup, man, is very little. Again, I was shocked at how little chips. I know one viewer commented that's the big downside about cutting with a chop saw. You get tons of chips all over. And when I used that blade, that was the case. I had just one cut. I had a ton of chips to clean up. This, very simple. So I have mixed feelings. It is effective. It does what it says it does. And I think it will be good for multi-materials. I'm going to try to get, I'm going to order an aluminum only blade. They're not that expensive. And I'm going to give that one a shot over this one. And then we'll compare all three and see how it goes. But this is acceptable. I have a link for this blade down below. I think if you're looking for a mixed purpose blade, and especially if you want to cut lighter steel, and when I say steel, I think they have a, the piece of steel channel on there or something. It probably would cut it. This saw will not cut a piece of steel, so don't even try it. If you have a corded saw, yeah, I think it would cut a piece of, lighter steel channel, mild steel channel, something like that. We'll cut wood, so if you want to cut anything, this blade will cut it. If you want it pretty, probably not the blade for you. So, hopefully you found it interesting. If you did, big thumbs up. Let me know any particular blade that you're using for this down in the comments below. I'll take a look at them. Maybe we'll get them and review them. Because I'm building a lot of machines these days and enclosures, so I'm cutting a lot of this maker rail. So I really wanted to, come out nice. Now, again, for me, if this isn't polished on the end, that's okay, because I'm going to put end caps on these anyway. So no big deal there. Because I don't even need to clean them up on, say, a grinder or something like that. So anyways, I'm pretty much set. Again, big thumbs up. Subscribe coming up over there. Swag shop up there. We'll see you guys in the next video where we cut something else. Cheers.
Please click like below and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all of our projects.